What's up, Action Army? Yep, that's right. I'm alive. Here I am, coming to you, trying to bring it from the heart. That was a hell of an event. That was a hell of a day. And I'll tell you guys, sometimes you think you know someone, sometimes you think you know how something's gonna go, and well, we all get surprised sometimes. So normally I'd be sitting here with my my old teammate, my old brother. We'd be doing hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the secret headquarters, Action Army, you know, blah 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 blah. But that's not what we're doing right now. I got a new teammate. I got a new lease on life, and I'm here for business. I'm here to win. All right? That's all I care about. That's the only thing I care about. If you guys think I give a flying fuck about getting tackled through a table, you're absolutely wrong. You know, people can be... Andrew Guy can be a coward if he wants to. But I don't care about that. I'm not here to discuss that. You know, normally after a big event, I'd come to you guys from the Team Action Secret Headquarters and I'd give you behind-the-scenes play-by-play of some of the best things that happened at that event. So that's what I'm going to do, you know? I still have a voice. This Patreon is still active. You guys are still members of the Action Army, so you still get to find out what's going on from me. So I'm gonna bring it from the heart, guys. Tell you about what happened at that event. So we had 6 matches. I'll get to it. Don't worry. 6 matches. We opened with a Commissioner Bowl. It was close. It was a good event. It was a good event. You know, my boy, Bobby Gucci, he was fighting. Looked like he had a real shot to take the thing down. David Ayers kind of sunk him. I don't know. I mean, it's always hard to say with that stuff, right? Like, should it be, should we be penalizing people for missing a word, for putting a plural, David O. Russell, we've all kind of seen this type of stuff happen, but I don't know. I mean, Emma's a good fighter. Like, honestly, Gucci is the moral support that any team or any singles player would ever want, but he's not, like, Gucci wasn't going to just go in and smoke the competition. He was going to have to fight pretty hard. So the big surprise there is obviously that Christian didn't clean up. I mean, this is a former champion here, guys. Like, you do a Mount Rushmore, Christian is on that Mount Rushmore. So I don't really know what to say about that other than congratulations to Fife, for getting her win, the Shire Wolves, the Fife Club. It's been a hell of a year. At this point in the event, this was the first match we were shooting, so everybody's kind of milling around. There's some nerves. This day in particular, I was really feeling like this was my day. You guys saw it in the post-match. I mean, that was all pretty authentic. But I really felt like this was my one, I studied, I felt good, I felt focused. Like, Riley and I had a really good thing going on. It's the funny thing about Schmoedown, guys, is like, it's not just, I've said this before in the Secret Headquarters videos, but wrestling is scripted, right? So there's storylines, who's gonna win, who's not gonna win. And you get similar kind of stuff where it's like, even though it's gonna go a certain way, like our storylines in Schmoedown, it's one way or another, right? It's gonna go one direction or another, but like, that direction is determined by who wins and loses. However, you still have the same egos, right? People are still like, why don't I get to be the person that, gets this title shot? Why don't I get the person that gets this whatever, And yeah, I don't know. I really just thought it was my day. So the Commissioner Bowl, make no mistake about it. I think, Harloff plays it off like he doesn't care. Had a great reveal, big story piece, all that stuff with Kalinowski and corruption and Pauly G. That stuff was all awesome, really executed well. So we go into the next match here, and like, I don't know, Riles and I we felt really good. We felt pretty fucking dialed. And like, if you watch that match, I think we were pretty fucking dialed. You guys like this? Action Movie Anatomy. Bateman, it's my personalized glass. Big shout out to Jarvie and Denuzzo for making me one of these. My former partner has one of these as well. But yeah, we went into this match, guys, and I'll tell you, like, that first round, going 6 and 7, there's even one moment in that match where I could tell Riley didn't have his answer, and I burned a JTE rule to give him the extra second to get his answer, because I could tell he wasn't going to do it. He was in his head about it, and he got the fucking answer. That's how dialed Riley and I have been. That's like what it really is like when you're playing with somebody who is on your level, who gets it. You guys are connected. So, you know, we have a really good opening. Our entrance is just the whole thing. I mean, it was all business, you know. The ladies did a big crazy entrance. All of the strong women, all these strong, cool characters and women over the years were represented by different Schmoedown competitors. They all came out, and that was pretty awesome. But they were ready to play. I mean, make no mistake about it. The Shire Wolves were ready to play. So, you know, we go into that match, and we have a great round 1. They pull off a perfect round 2, you know. But we were there. We were there to win. So we weren't phased, right? Like, I believe in myself and in Mark Riley as strong enough players that given the opportunity, we should be able to win. So, you know, we spun Festival Darlings, and we spun off of it because it's not a great category. Our chances are better to respin, and we land on it again. And wouldn't you know it, somehow my teammate has a fucking knowledge blackout, and he manages to just... It was amazing. I mean, I think I got 2 of the answers, maybe 2.5, like we both knew one of them. But there was 3 answers in that Festival Darlings category that he legitimately just carried us. Like, he just... They were pulls that were like, what the actual fuck? Like, this guy, I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. So, you know, we get out of that round and we 12-0 it. And I think there was a real sense from the audience, like, we're watching an all-timer. We are watching an all-time match. And then the betting round. So I had just studied Pixar. It's one of Riley's strengths. He's really good at Pixar. I had just studied Pixar. I had studied every movie. I watched all of them in 12 days. And I could tell you the characters' names in Coco. Ernesto de la Cruz. I could tell you Gael Garcia Bernal played the voice of the character whose name I couldn't remember. I could tell you Benjamin Bratt. I could tell you, I mean, there were so many things about that movie. I knew who directed it. I could tell you the songs, but I couldn't remember Hector's name. And neither could the girls. So we both miss. We even out. But at this point, you can't panic. How can you panic? You both played amazing. You even out. So you go into that speed round, and it was a weird speed round, guys. Make no mistake about it. It was a weird speed round. The last film in Phase 2 of the MCU, I mean, there was questions in that speed round that were just bizarre. Riley, you know, buzzed in, couldn't get Disaster Artist fast enough. He knows that answer. You know, that's nerves. That's a shame. We end that round. We're down a few points, you know, and when you're playing against somebody, 2 people that are the caliber of competitors that Clark and Rachel are, like when that's what you're doing, you're playing against people that are that level, they're not going to miss. You get lucky they miss a question. They didn't. Now, we had a much harder 5-pointer, not because I think it's particularly esoteric, but because it's a context question, and theirs was name a rom-com with these 2 actors, right? Like, that's not a 5-point title match question, but I've been on both sides of that coin plenty of times. Can't really complain about that. It's just the breaks of the game. Never put yourself in a position to lose on one question. If you do, you're not playing well enough. So we lost the match on Hector. That's how we lost the match. It was surreal. It was really, I felt very empty afterwards. I hate losing. I really felt like we had been on one of the all-time runs as a team. I became the first player to ever get 4 wins in a row with 2 teams, and also the first player ever to get 4 wins in a row twice in teams. And I'm the all-time points leader in teams now. So it's been a crazy couple years in the teams division. And then, of course, I get tackled through a fucking table. You know, Schmoedown storylines, guys, you script them out. Ideas get suggested how things are going to work. And the eventual breakup of Team Action was like something that I think we both knew was a maybe. Like, that was maybe going to happen. But Drew and I have talked about it. He knows that I'm the stronger competitor. So a lot of the weight fell on me, and a lot of the guilt fell on him when we would lose. I'm fine with that. We had a great run as a team. We had a great time as a team. That guy's my brother, you know, where you guys are going to find us doing work together every single week. But watching me go and win with another team, you know, everybody kind of just dumping on him for not being as good as Mark Riley at trivia, That pisses him off, I can tell. So as much as it's a storyline, and it is, there's truth in most of these storylines. And yeah, it just, that played out the way it played out. So you guys saw it. And like, it was wild. It's a WWE style thing. And so now, I don't even know what's going to happen, but I know you guys are going to get to hear from me. Maybe he'll probably get on here and do his own thing. I don't know. But, so yeah, that match ended, And as far as the rest of the matches for the day go, Star Wars is a league I don't really care for. I love Knapsack. I think he's great. Alex Damon's a complete savage. There's nobody can beat that guy. The whole match, that division has been dead for a while since what we're left. The number one contenders match was just a battle. Clark and Dan, two of the great players, two of the greatest players. Of course, Clark has bad luck against Dan, not against me, either time. But what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Dan will play Irwin in New York. That's a big deal. You have the Inner Geekdom Championship and then the Singles Champion. So I'll speak really quickly on the Inner Geekdom one. Mara melted down a little. You can see it in the video. You can see towards the end. There's a weird cut, and she just didn't love that Kalinowski got a rematch. Some of that had to do with scheduling. A lot of that had to do with scheduling. Christian's talked about it. There's only so many elite players in the Inner Geekdom level. Rachel was already playing a match. She didn't want to play again. Hlavik is not a big enough draw to get a title shot. Kalinowski's the guy, and Inman couldn't make it. So at that point, it just becomes like, okay, it works in the context of the story to have a shot that's not deserved by Kalinowski. But, some competitors play entirely on the merit of trivia. That's what they're there to do. They want to make friends. They want to be there. They want to enjoy playing trivia. The story stuff, the kind of character stuff, almost like the bullying, the slow rolling by Kalinowski, that really rubs some people the wrong way. I mean, I know it. I'm the master of the slow roll. That's the thing I do, and some people really dislike it. So, yeah, her post is obviously cut short, that interview. It just wasn't a situation she wanted to be in. She didn't want to be in that situation. She was tired. She felt exhausted. And yeah, there's a lot of people that have kind of ripped her apart for not caring, for saying she doesn't care about something that they all really care about. And I feel for her. When you feel burnt like that, and it's not, your goal is not to be the Schmoedown champion, that's not what you think about. It's something that you are just inherently amazing at. She's amazing. That's no pun intended. Her trivia knowledge is ludicrous, and she's one of the sweetest people I've met. But the part of it that's just sports, which is just fight, win, now fight again, and it's just exhausting, and it's always uphill because everybody's just coming for you. You got a target on your back. That just doesn't vibe with some people, and there's an energy that goes along with that, a very bro-y kind of jock energy that yeah, I get it. it pisses me off sometimes too. So that was unfortunate that it went down that way. It sucked for Mike because he didn't really get to enjoy it. Not because it's his fault or it was her fault. It's just the nature of the game. I've seen a lot of competitors be burnt by a loss, and yeah, so that was unfortunate. But maybe we'll see Mara again. I'm not really sure, but she's arguably the best that league's ever seen, the Inner Geekdom. And finally, the singles title match. The old battle axe John Roca fighting Ethan Irwin. Roca could have won this match. This is, I think, probably my commentary on this is built somewhat from the fact that I know both competitors pretty well. I've got a pretty long-standing rivalry with Roca. A lot of you guys know that. And I've talked to John a little bit about this. He kind of beat himself. Now, not to say that if John had gone in with a different attitude, he would have won, but he could have won is, I guess, the point. John's a hell of a competitor. He's as close to the top as most people have ever gotten to be. And Irwin is almost unbeatable. Irwin is amazing. He's really good. That match itself was pretty crazy to watch. It's high-level stuff, big misses, big wins. Irwin was really happy to win it. I know John really, really wanted to be in New York. I have to think there'll be a rematch at some point. It was a great singles title match. It got overshadowed by the teams match and the IG match because of the controversy in the IG match and because of obviously me getting tackled through a fucking table and the fact that we had one of the all-time team matches. But, you know, Roka doesn't really need to bemoan the fact that his title match was not the biggest draw. He's been in like 10 of the biggest draws ever. Like he's arguably the greatest player that's ever played. You know, it's like him and Levine basically. Merle, it's like that's like your trio. But amazing match. You know, I can't wait to see Ethan defend the title in New York. I think that's gonna be awesome. Merle and Irwin should be a pretty crazy match to watch. And yeah, guys, that's the Spectacular. That's the Schmoedown Spectacular. It was Spectacular 3 was a special one. It was stacked, beginning to end. It was so much fun. Big shout out to Breanne Chandler for singing the national anthem, for crushing it doing that. You know, it's so much production, so much stuff. I guess the last thing to speak on is there was a big announcement about the paywall stuff, how singles matches are going to stay public on a different channel, on the Schmoes channel, but all of the teams and the Inner Geekdom matches are going to go behind a Patreon paywall. They'll be available on audio for free. There's a bunch of different tiers, and there's a live streaming structure that's coming where, with the live events, Christian's going to be selling effectively like, I think it's like $3 or $4 or something. I don't have the details in front of me, but like a pay-per-view structure to stream these events live. It's a necessary change for the sustainability of the league. You know, if you're not growing, you're dying kind of a thing. And we've reached a point now in Schmoedown where there's a real necessity for that. So some people are not pleased about it. I know there's a lot of discourse on that Facebook group about some people feel that there's kind of some shaming going on as far as people not being able to afford to donate. I don't really speak on that. I've had moments where I've been really hard up for cash in my life, and I do know even just $1 makes all the difference sometimes. The attitude of shaming people, you're not a real fan if you don't donate, I think that's the inappropriate part of it. But even the people that are saying that, I don't think that they mean actually if you can't afford it. I think what they're kind of saying is that most people who say they can't afford it, most of them, and it's not a testament to any specific person, but the concept of not being able to afford $1 1 month or $12 in the course of a year is absurd for most people. Like, for most people. Some people it's not. But I think that attitude has to do with the fact that there's a lot of people that say that, but it's the difference of like 3 cups of coffee a year is Schmoedown for the entire year, right? It's stuff like that. Or, you know, it's the difference between, you know, driving versus walking a few places a dozen times a year. You know, you save $1 gas each time, something like that. I guess the point is, I know why people are complaining about it. There will be a certain amount of fans that won't want to get into this as far as paywall stuff goes, and I can't fault you for it. Like, Schmoedown is not the most important thing in the whole world. Survival is. And if it truly is $1, and that's the difference of life and death, then you shouldn't be paying for Schmoedown. And I would never ever fault you for doing that. So it's an exciting time. The next phase is going to be amazing. I can't wait to be there. 2019 for me is going to be crazy, guys. I have an amazing regime in place. I'm going to win. It's just going to be huge. I got so close this year. I had the highest accuracy percentage by my team, by my opponents in the entire league this year. And, you know, that's can only happen once, right? So I'm going to keep putting in the effort, and you guys are going to see me win. I'm here for business. That's what the boss does. And there will be some drama, but, you know, keep checking back. I'll be posting videos here, you know, giving you guys updates. Secret Headquarters will be alive, and Team Action, as far as the action guys and Action Movie Anatomy, that's business. That's going to continue going. We are professionals enough to get our work done, so you guys will see us doing those shows. You can check in there for updates in the new year. But as far as right now goes, that's my update. That's my reaction. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out patreon.com/teamaction, though you're probably hearing this on there right now. And you can follow along with me personally at Ben Baby Media on Twitter. Andrew Guy is a trader. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Happy 2019.